Hi, welcome back. How are we doing?
Yeah.
I want to welcome you all to our second in our speaker series. And thank you for joining us at Mitchell College. I'd like to thank all of you coming in that are current students, alumni. I would also like to invite our friends in, which are here with us today, and hopefully future Mitchell people coming to Mitchell College. It's been a tough year. Obviously, it's 1 year anniversary now of our pandemic, and we would love to do this live. Well, we are doing it live, but in person would be nice if we had everybody with us, which we don't. And hopefully next fall, with the vaccination out, with everything going on now, that we will get back to some normalcy next year, and we can have our friends and family on the campus along with us to do some of these neat little speaker series. Now, hopefully you joined us for our last speaker series, which was Cultivating Grit and Resilience, which was about a month ago. And now this one here today is self-care. And what's the other part?
Soup.
Oh, it's soup. There you go. So I am going to now introduce my daughter, Megan, on the self-care part, and I'm going to wander over to the kitchen and get ready to make some soup with you guys. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. Hi, everybody. It's really nice to be at Mitchell College again. I'm comfortably in my parents' living room, but I really miss being with all of you in the Big Red Barn and can't wait to do that again soon. So as my dad mentioned, we're at the 1 year of when we found out that COVID was happening, and we didn't really know what was going to happen. I sure didn't. I was celebrating my husband's birthday, and here we are a year later, and we've been through so much. So I first want to congratulate everyone on making it here today and being a part of this, and just recognize that you're amazing, that you've gone through really hard stuff and you're here, and it's so awesome. So it's just like really shocking that sunk in with me today on my drive to work that was this week. So in reflecting on that a year ago, I really had to dive into my own inner resources and build upon my self-care. In doing so, I made a lot of really big changes in my life and really had to explore what was really going to be good for me in this really, really hard time. Because when things get really hard, we're challenged. And what I want to talk about today is building inner and outer resources so that when we are faced with those challenges, we can face them with more grit and resiliency, like you all learned hopefully in our last speaker series, but how to do it with a little more grace. Because when things get stressful, which they're going to, it's hard to be our best self. And this morning I was laughing because I had this whole plan of all the great self-care things I was going to do to get ready for you guys tonight. And we just got a puppy. So all of that just didn't go to plan at all. And I started my day kind of in panic mode, which our bodies get into so quickly with stress. And I had to dig into one of the practices I'm going to share with you today called anchor breathing. And connecting to myself and my breath to get through a challenging time in the morning, where I realized that I wanted to try to be my best self with all my self-care practices, and then dialing it down a notch to be like, I'm just going to be myself, and that's what's best right now. So starting off stressful, we can still come to a peaceful place with some powerful practices. And today we're going to start with that anchor breathing. So if you're sitting at your computer, which I'm assuming you are, but if you're not, find a seat and then just get into a comfortable space. You want to sit so that your bones are rather stacked and comfortable, so you have enough space to let the air come in and out of your body naturally, and so that you feel supported. So if you need to like lean back in your chair, put a pillow behind you, go ahead and do that. Great. And now feel your feet on the ground. Just notice your feet and how they feel touching the ground. Notice your seat on your chair and any points of your body that are in contact with something else. Just notice where your hands are. You can leave them on your lap, somewhere where they're comfortable. Notice if you have any tension in your body. Are you gripping your feet? Are you tensing your jaw? Are you carrying any tension in your shoulders? And see if you can bring any softness to your body. Great. Now start to notice your breathing. How it feels just to naturally breathe in and out. And now for our first anchor spot. Now that we've gathered a little more grounded presence in our body, it's going to be placing 2 hands on your belly. Just notice how your hands feel on your belly. Do you feel the rise and fall as you breathe in and breathe out? Just nice and natural breathing in and out. Bringing your awareness to your belly and your breath. You can close your eyes if that feels good to you. Or just focus on one spot. Beautiful. One more breath in and out. And our next anchor spot is going to be right on your heart. Place 1 or 2 hands on your heart. Notice your breathing here. Any sensations you feel? Do you feel your heartbeat? Is your hand hot or cold? Just keep focusing on your breath right here in this spot. And take one more deep breath in and a long breath out. And our final anchor spot is going to be placing your hand right in front of your nose, right here. Just feel the air coming in and out of your nostrils. Maybe you feel the air on your hand. Just bring all of your awareness up to your hand and your nose and what you feel with your breath. One more breath here. And gently place your hand back down. Notice in your body where you felt most connected with your breath, where you felt your breath the strongest, where you could easily connect to it. Whether that be at your hand, at your heart, or at your belly. For me today, that's going to be my heart. And place your hand on your anchor and focus on your breathing there. Just for a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, just relax your hand. For me, that practice of taking a few moments to hone in on my anchor spot when the world can be really busy or crazy or stressful like it can be so unpredictable. We can take in that, what we can control, our breathing, something we do so naturally, our life-giving breath. We can bring awareness to it and anchor into our center, into that space. Then those really hard things can sometimes melt away for a moment, or we're just using that tool, that inner resilience that we have, to just bring our nervous system down a few notches so that we can continue on with our day. I don't know how many times I needed to use this today, where I'm like, oh, we have this going on tonight. I'm really excited. And then I hit a roadblock, or I'm running late for work because I had to handle my dog. So it's being able to navigate those little bumps in the road a little more smoothly when we can take a second instead of powering through all the stress, powering through all the hard stuff, to take a second to reconnect with our body, reconnect with our breath, and anchor it. And that's for me in this journey over the past year of trying to figure out what's the best way to take care of me, that self-care, those things that we do every day to make sure that we're taken care of and okay. We often can rush through them, like even brushing your teeth, eating, taking a shower, sleeping, all those things that we need to do. We can do them and rush through them, or we can take them with some presence, with some mindfulness, to make the day run a little more smoothly and to feel nourished. And my favorite, I want to leave you before we go into the yummy soup portion of our evening with a definition I learned with my little flower yoga training by the holistic MD Amy Saltzman. And her definition of mindfulness is being in the present moment and here and now with kindness and curiosity. So if we are being kind and curious instead of critical and judgmental of ourselves, then we can just, it feels better. I catch myself all the time in that mind-making machine, thinking about all the ways that I'm not being successful in my day. And that's just really hard when things are already hard. So if you can catch yourself and be a little more mindful and take a few deep breaths and approach your day with more kindness and curiosity, then I hope that that's something you can take in your toolbox with you. And hopefully, it'll be a good day. So I'm gonna leave you with that, and I'm gonna see you later, and we're gonna make some soup.
How we doing? So we're over in the soup kitchen now. I am gonna do a little housekeeping because I did not introduce myself. I did introduce my daughter, but I didn't tell you who we were. So at any rate, I am Tim Grill, and I am the Director of Food Services at Mitchell College. And I'll brag about my daughter a little bit. She is an occupational therapist, and she's also a certified yoga instructor, and she also has a little Reiki background also. So when you're listening to what she's saying, she's not coming off. She actually knows everything she's talking about. Not that I follow everything she does, but definitely great at what she does. And she was up at the Norwich School System today for the first time, I think, in a long time, one-on-one with kids, because now they're actually back in session. So as I said before, the pandemic is starting to hopefully wean itself away, and we can go from there. But what we're looking at today, and you have an array of everything in front of me, is we're talking about comfort foods. And when we've all been caught up in, in home, in office, Zoom meetings, not moving, it gets us caught up in so many different ways that you don't think of eating smart and healthy. You think of eating quick and bad. Now, am I saying these are bad for you? In some respects, yes. In some respects, no. But what I'm going to show you right now is because we're in so many different spots. We have kids that are on campus now, and they are in their dorm room. Well, they don't have a kitchen. They can't cook in there. But I'm going to show you how to make something that you can buy in the store that's actually better for you, easy enough to make, takes about the same amount of time as it would to boil water and make this guy for you. But the sodium counts very small, all right? So I want to just go through one real big fact with you guys. All right, this little guy here, sodium count, all right, if you have this whole thing, 55% sodium, all right? How many of you guys have had ramen noodles, all right? All right, it's a staple, right? Staple in college. All right, this, 69% of sodium, all right? Progresso, all right, here's a great soup for you, right? It is, flavors there, all very good for you. 44% sodium, if you eat that whole can. The neat part about what these guys do, and if you read the nutritional label, is they actually say if you have a portion, and a portion in this, so this is actually 2 portions. all right? So they'll tell you one portion is 44% sodium, but are you gonna eat just one portion of this, or you're gonna eat the can? So you have 44%, all right? And this one I get a kick out of, not that I'm throwing Stop and Shop under the bus, but here it is, Nature's Promise Organic. This one here is the winner, all right? This is 60% sodium if you eat the whole thing. Now, the whole thing is only 17 ounces, all right? A cup, what's a cup? Cup's 8 ounces, all right? You have a cup of soup, you're right, all right? It's only 30% sodium. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take something that, and actually we're gonna use the chicken stock. The nice part where we live here in Niantic is we have a Costco right down the road. So I bought the Costco, or the brand of the chicken stock organic, all right? And if you go to read the label, this is a nice part too. If you go start reading the labels on everything, all right, I can actually read everything that's in here, all right? It's organic chicken stock, organic vegetable stock, and then it tells you it's organic carrots, celery, organic onions, the whole bit. And then it's got sea salt in there. It's got roasted flavor in there from the vegetables. It's got organic turmeric in there, and also ground bay leaf and a little black pepper. That's it. That's what's in here. And the neat part is, remember the sodium counts I was talking about? This is 18% for the whole thing. All right, that's 4 cups. All right, so when we're looking at these things and we're making these, all right, yes, is it easy enough to grab this, boil some water, throw it in there, and let it sit there for 3-4 minutes and have it? Yes. But watch this, all right? All right, we have out there, you can get the ready-made pasta, all right? I'm just breaking it up, that's why I'm making all the noise, all right? But with this, it's already cooked, it's already set to go, all right? Then, just like tuna fish is big out there, you get that in any store, you can actually get chicken, all right? So you can get a chicken ready to go, all processed, even tells you, no draining, ready to go, okay? So we're talking about nutrients here, talking about healthy, talking about good. And here, all right, it's all freeze-dried. So you got freeze-dried chicken, freeze-dried this is the real deal, all right? And then we're gonna look at our canned veg, okay? Now, is it, it's still got the nutrients you want and all that. Is it canned? Yes. Is it gonna have a color? No. But not bad. So we drain this out. All right, again, if you're in your dorm room, grab another cup, drain that out, okay? And while I was talking, I should have poured in my chicken stock and I should have put it in the microwave. But you want to fill this guy up. I got a quart container, and actually I'm selling all of this, the materials to make all this at the cafeteria right now. Right now? Yeah, it's still open, till 7:30. So you can actually buy this kit. Now, granted, I think this is cents. This is $2 or so. To make this for 2 portions is $6.50. So yeah, you're paying for the product you're buying. All right, so we get this guy here, we throw it in the microwave, and we throw it in there for about 3 minutes. I'm probably gonna cut it short because time is of the essence here. But you take your chicken, like you saw, I was breaking up my pasta already. You take my little bag here, I'm breaking this up. Have it all set to go. And the neat part about this is you don't even need scissors, you just take it and have a little cut-proof thing there, bingo. Into the garbage you go. Same thing with our pasta, like I said, I was breaking that up already. And I had already drained my veg. So again, bingo, little pasta. Little pasta goes. We can get rid of that. Throw that away. I'm going to ad-lib here and get this guy open. Maybe, there we go. All right, and now all we have to do with this, all right, is grab a utensil. I'm sure you guys taken a utensil or two from the cafeteria by now, or we're giving you all of the plastic containers. And all we got to do is add in our veg, give that a stir, add in our pasta. Now, the nice part about what we're doing is this makes 2 portions. Now, at the cafeteria, I was also giving you a container for when we did this. So if you buy the product over in Milner. You just add all of this in. All right, give it a stir. All right, and then this will go back in if you did the microwave for 3 minutes to start off with. You do the microwave now for about 2 minutes. So we do that for 2 minutes. And now you're gonna have a nice healthy soup. Now, remember I was talking about sodium levels. All right. Online, when you went on to the webinar, you were able to download the recipes. So I had already put the recipes up there. You'll notice here, all the calories on all these, by the way, are about the same. So this particular one here, per half of that is 260 calories. But the sodium count, 28%. All right. So here's something that you can make quickly, make easily. All the ingredients we had, you can buy in the store. You can load up when you go. I know when my son went to college, we put 10 cases of Gatorade because he was a sports guy. We brought that in. So, hey, you're coming to college, this is what you load up on. You bring it in. All of a sudden now, you need a healthy meal. You're hungry. Yeah, do we have vending machines in the dorm? Sure we do. But do you want to go down and actually, I'm asking the wrong question for the kids. Yes, the kids want to go down there and they want to get the chips and they want to get the candy bar. But, if you're having a stressful day, you need to mellow out, like Megan was saying, this can help you. Now you're eating healthy, you're not getting yourself all strung up on the sodiums. You're actually getting calories and minerals in your body that are good for you. That's the whole idea. All right. So what we're doing here, that's a quick one. All right. For the kids that are in dorm. All right. Now, let's go to the guys that are working out there. All right. All right. You're getting home. Do we have a meal ready to go? Do we have this ready to go? Oh, I got to get home. What am I doing? All right. Here's now the next one. All right. We can do a crock pot. All right. So now, the neat part with a crock pot is I went out. I only have, as you can tell, I have 3 of these now. But I didn't have one with a timer on it. So you can buy one with a timer. All right, like the recipe states. This is another quick, easy one to do. All right, you can make, I'm gonna change my papers. Now this one here, very easy. You're getting whole chickens. All right, so where's my chicken? All right, so we're gonna get whole chicken. I'm gonna grab another bowl. All right, I did chop up everything already, which is kind of cool, except the garlic. So the night before, if you got room in your fridge, you can set this up the night before you go to bed, right in here. Throw the whole thing in the fridge, get it ready to go in the morning, all right? So you can put it on. So basically what you want to do is you want to just take a chicken breast, regular chicken breast, boom, season that guy up, all right? Little salt and pepper, all right? Just to season it up. And this is the only salt and pepper I'm putting in this whole dish, is what's going on in the chicken. Okay? Seasoning that up. All right. Not for nothing. Kind of a clean, want to work clean and all of that is what I was doing. So basically what I'm trying to do now is set my timer. You set this up to 6 hours. When next morning pops around, so that you can just put it on and you're ready to go. Now, this is 6 hours. A lot of us work 8 hours a day, but the other thing is a lot of us are working from home on Zoom. So this is still something that you can take and you can make while you're home, but you don't have to worry about it. It's here, it's going to be cooking for a while, you're on your way. All right, so we have our chicken in there. I'm going to come back to this in a second. So there's our soup, our first one. Close that guy up. Now with this, we're going to add in our carrots. I already cut my carrots. Add a few more. My celery. My onions. And all of this just goes in. Real easy so far, right? We're going to season it up. A couple bay leaves go in there. A little bit of thyme. Now, depending on what you want to do. So this particular one, if you're using dry herbs, Okay, if you're gonna use dry herbs, put your dry herbs in now, okay? And the reason why is, fresh herbs, when you're using fresh herbs, they're gonna extract all the flavor out of the fresh herb in about 10 minutes. So if you actually put your fresh herbs in here now, it's nice, it's just like putting lettuce in here, you got some greenery in there, but you don't really have a flavor. You cooked your flavor out. Kind of funny, here I'm putting basil in there, but you actually cook the flavor out. But if you're using dry, like I just used dry thyme, and I'll use a little dry oregano, all right, because it's dried, and what happens when things are dried, all right, it intensifies the flavor, all right, but also it has to be reconstituted. So now all of a sudden you get those flavors coming out when you have the dry herbs in there. So we're doing the dry herbs. And then we're going to add a little garlic in there. So we're going to cut up a little garlic. Now, they always say chopped garlic. I've been cooking for a long time. And actually, I don't really use chopped garlic anymore. I always slice mine up fresh. Again, doesn't take me long. And I add my slices in there because now that it's going to cook down, it's going to be roasted and or pureed in there as it cooks. So it's not, there's no reason to have your garlic chopped. What happens when you chop your garlic, you put it in the food processor and all that, it all works, but you're actually pulverizing it. So now all of your acids come out. Now you guys are all, well, I shouldn't say all familiar, but I'm sure I have a few people on there. I know Nancy's on here, so she remembers Huey's. And if you remember Huey's, you remember the Love Salad. And the Love Salad, what made it a Love Salad is because they used raw garlic, which is all that acid that's in the garlic. And it's a love salad because if you had raw garlic and your partner didn't, that's a problem. So what happens here is, because we're cooking it, what happens is those acids actually turn sweet. If you've ever had roasted garlic, things like that, you would know that all of a sudden it's no longer that acid coming at you, but it's actually sweet. So we have everything in here that we start, garlic in there. And now what we're going to do is, and actually I'm going to use fresh rosemary at the end, so I know it says rosemary, we're going to use it at the end. But now we have to put our stock in there. So again, we don't have to make chicken stock. There's some great products out there like we were already talking about. So we just add our stock. And again, depending on how you want to do this, you can do it before you go to work, or you can set it the night before, put it in the fridge, ready to go. And all you have to do is set your timer on here when you leave in the morning. As it comes out. All right, and just follow the recipe on there. I'm only putting one in, but you should put a few in. Cover it over. Set yourself up. I'm just locking it down because what it does is it takes and locks in all the flavors. It cooks it easier and easier. So now we have our 6 hours, so we're ready to go. In the morning, like I said, if you already did it, pop it in there, boom, you're on your way out the door, you're done. All right, so that's going to cook for a little bit. But amazing technology. I only have 3 more. I'll show you what it is in the end product. Now let's go back to our microwave soup. Okay, like I said, this is a meat soup, very easy to make, and you can share it with a friend. You got a roommate, boom, you guys just made soup for you and your roommate. Put it in your bowl, bingo bango. Pasta's cooked. You got your chicken in there. Of course, I put all the veg on the bottom, so I'm not giving you the veg. There we go. There we go. Get your veg in there. Pour a little stock in there. And not bad. All right, so there's a little meal for you. Again, nutritious. Is it a ramen noodle? No, it's not a ramen noodle. It's actually better for you. When we have that, you have your whole veg in there. They're not reconstituted. You have your whole pasta in there. You have your chicken in there. If not, again, freeze-dried coming back. Great little product, quick and easy. So that's our microwave. All right, miracle of me cooking. We go to here, and now all of a sudden we go to here. We have our chicken. Let's see. Did I pull the right one? I think I did. All right. So now you come home 6, 8 hours later. Now, because you put this on 6 hours, it stays warm. It doesn't keep on cooking. It goes down to warm after the 6 hours. So if you're not here in 6 hours, it's still there. Everything's fine. It all works. This is actually boiling away. Now, what we want to do is, hang on, there we go. Is, all right, we have our chicken in here. And the neat part about our chicken, because it was cooking in there for 6 hours, we pull our chicken out. And all we have to do with this is, since it's a noodle soup, all right, we gotta put our pasta in there. Now, you can do a couple different things. All right, we have a lot of celiac disease out there. So as we're, I'll show off my Patriot logo, even though we didn't do so well this year. What you want to do when you get home is you pull your chicken out like I did. And what I have here is I have gluten-free pasta. So again, it says take about 8 ounces or so. Now, you don't have to use gluten-free. You can use regular pasta, but you want to make sure it's like a capellini or a spaghettini or a spaghetti. Spaghetti a little bit too big. Spaghettini not bad. Because you want it to cook in about 20 minutes to half hour. So break it up, put your pasta in there. Again, I took my chicken out. All right. We take our spoon. All right, move that around a little bit. Turn it back on, because obviously this is raw. So you, where's my covers here? So cover it back up. Lock it up, turn it back on. Go back 20 minutes later. It's gonna look like this. Another soup, nope, got unplugged. And we're gonna get to this point. And now all of a sudden, all right, you got one more piece of chicken, I'm gonna pull that out. I put this in just to get it going. But now we have our chicken. Take 2 forks. Take 2 forks and just separate out your chicken. I'll show you this in a second. I don't think you can see it, right? You can't see it? But it really just pulls right apart. Very simple, very easy to do. Pull this right apart. All right, and then once your pasta is cooked and set to go, I already did that here, bingo, goes in. Put some of this in. Boom. Stir this around. All right, let your chicken warm up in there. Move this back here. And now all of a sudden, lost something. Got it. Now all of a sudden, we have our next chicken soup. Now, obviously, as we do these like this, sodium levels go down. All right, because now we're using natural carrots, onions, celery, natural flavoring. Now, let's say, I want to go here. I want to go actually here. Here's my hold on. All right, now let's say you don't want to put any more salt in here. Okay? And you don't have to. And the recipe even tells you about this. But you can use fresh lemon juice. So instead of salt, fresh lemon juice. It'll brighten it up. All right, a little bit in there. That's all you really need. Again, toss it around a little bit. Now, remember I said before, I didn't put my rosemary in because I want to put it in now because it's fresh. So it's fresh rosemary I have here. We take a little rosemary. We bring that down, we chop it up a little bit. Put a little rosemary in there. And again, if you don't like rosemary, you don't have to. Just a thought. We put a little fresh parsley in there. All right, and there you go. A nice little meal starting off for your, when you're coming home from work. So not bad, easy to do. Again, you know, it's a crock pot. So what? Took 6 hours, 8 hours to do, but the nice part is you didn't have to be here while it was happening. It all worked out well for you. All right, now let's talk to our retirees. They have time and they can cook. So you want to make a real chicken soup. Back in the days when my grandmother was making chicken soup. All right, we can do that too. All right, little pot. All right, because I don't want to make a lot of noise, I turn my fan on and do all this. But same concept. All right, so we start off, we get our pan hot. All right, we do a little oil in the bottom of our pan. All right, so imagine my pan's on, getting hot. Now I'm coming over here. I'm gonna go back to seasoning up my chicken. Now, in the recipe, I was making it a little bit quicker. And if you don't have time, you can use a rotisserie chicken. All right, so that's what I have here. You have the rotisserie chicken. You can break that up, break it up into pieces here. So then you're really only doing the broth. But if you have time and you want to make it, again, you get your fresh chicken. You season up your chicken. Now, with this particular one, because of the way I'm making it, all right, I'm actually using a chicken thigh too with a bone in it, again, because I want to get a little stock in there, the marrow of the bone, gives me more flavor the whole bit. And I did a boneless, skinless breast. And I'll do a little skin on, which I'll pull off later, on the thigh, because that will give us a little more flavor. So if you have the time and you can do this way, you would take that, your pan's hot, you sear this guy off. So you start searing that off, let that sear off for about 2 minutes or so, or until it gets nice and brown. All right, from there, once it gets brown, then you flip it over after the 2 minutes. Now, what you want to do is you're going to add in your veg. All right. You're going to add in some celery, carrots, onions, your garlic. Let that saute down a little bit. If you're using dry herbs, you can put your dry herbs in, your thyme, your bay leaf. If you want a little oregano in there, go for it. We can put all that in there. All right, we cook all that up. Now, after we cook that up, now we're going to add our stock. So I have our stock in. Again, you can use these because again, they're low sodium. It's a great product. Back in the day, I used to make all my stocks and used to do all scratch cooking. That's when I had a restaurant back in the day. I had here back then too. But at any rate, the stock goes into your pot, and now you cook that down. Now, when you're making the soup this way, you're going to cook that down for about, I'm going to say an hour. I think that's what I did today. Cook that down for an hour. After that hour, I pulled my chicken out. Okay, so I did breasts and did thighs. So we had that set to go. But I put my pan back on the stove, turned it up, and now with this one here, all right, I put in no yolk egg into my soup. Got that going. What you would do is you again, just like we did the other one, you take your chicken. Grab one more pan. All right, so you take your chicken. Take that out, grab a fork. I did this one with and one without skin, so I'll take my skin off, all right off. Again, take your meat, it all breaks up, not a problem. And again, with your fork, 2 forks, tongs, whatever you want to do, break this up while your pasta is cooking. Once your pasta is cooked, which should take about 10 minutes, add a boil, add in your chicken. Back into your soup. Give it a stir. And let's see, I have a bowl. Of course not. I have a bowl I can't show you. But So this one here again, same type of thing. Ladle. Got it. We add our product in, we have our noodles, we have all our veg, all cooked in nicely. Have our stock. And we actually had this soup tonight for dinner. Everyone's still here, they didn't leave, so it must have been pretty good for what we were doing. Again, a touch of lemon in there. So you don't have to use any more salt. Very nutritious for you. Sprinkle that, a little bit of parsley, and bingo, another soup ready to go. So what we just did tonight was we showed you 3 different methods. One very quick with a microwave, one when you're working, you can still have a nutritious meal when you come back, or a nice healthy soup when you come back, or if you got the traditional method and you want to go in, you can make a soup from scratch. Again, if you don't want to cook the chicken, you want to make it quicker, you can alleviate the chicken, which will cut your time down on your soup by about a half hour. So you can actually make this soup in a half hour. Use your rotisserie chicken, chop that up, throw it in, and all you're really doing is waiting on your pasta to cook now, and you have your 3 different styles of soup that you can all do on the same thing. All right. So now that I'm done, hopefully you've got everything squared away for you. You know what you're doing with soups. You've got some healthy versions in here. I'm going to turn it back over to my daughter, and she can close this out. Thank you.
Hi again, welcome back over to the Self-Care Nook. What I really love about this progression that we just learned of like an easy, quick soup to something that takes a little longer is that it reminds me of my self-care practice that I've been trying to, build and strengthen over this past year that we've been talking about. Sometimes I have a little bit of time and I need like the microwave version of my self-care routine where it's just the bare necessities. Like, what do I need to do to feel okay at the bare minimum? And then maybe I have the crock pot version of my self-care routine and I can add in a few more nourishing practices that take a little bit more time. Maybe I can squeeze in a little bit longer of yoga. Maybe I can go for a nice long walk. And that's really great. And then there's some days where I can take the whole day to just focus on myself and really fill my self-care cup to handle those days where I need to use the microwave version. So it's really nice that you can make this really tailored to you and your needs. So I'm sharing a little bit about what works for me. We're sharing some soups, but if you need to change it up for the stuff that you need, like my dad talked about different allergies, really feel like like you have permission to listen to your body. We went over this anchor breathing about noticing our body. Your body has so many beautiful ways to tell you different signals of what you need and what you don't need. So I invite you to really use these strategies to help you notice what's going to work for you. And something that I notice works for me and is so essential from taking care of like a nourishing meal to focusing on my breathing is movement. Sometimes we can't like think through or figure everything out on Zoom sitting or like get really stuck in our brain. So that's a really good time, a good cue when you're like feeling that Zoom fatigue, you've been sitting all day, or you just like, we need to be moving. We need to move our bodies for our bodies to work its best. So that's where I'm inviting us to now start moving our bodies. What is my area of specialty? I know that my dad had mentioned I'm an occupational therapist and a yoga instructor. So yoga has been one of my biggest self-care tools, and I'm going to share chair yoga with you today. So we might all be sitting. If you're not, again, find your chair and make sure it's something stable. If you need to switch it out real quick, if you're like in a rolly chair or something not safe, make sure you're in a good place to do some nice, easy, fluid movements. And these are movements that you can do if I'm working from home a lot more right now. So sometimes we have to check in and remember I should probably move my body. I've been sitting for a couple of hours. So these are easy practices you can do right while you're working. You're in the middle of your seated day, okay? Or just whenever you feel like it. So you're first gonna start sitting nice and tall and feel your feet on the ground. And and sit in a posture where you can easily feel your breath come in and out. Revisit your anchor breath, your anchor spot. Is it your belly, your heart? Or even if you need to like tactily feel your breath, go to your anchor spot for a few breaths. Sitting nice and tall. Relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. Beautiful. And now we're going to just bring your arms out to your sides and hold them there. It's amazing how much strength you can build just by holding your body in certain postures. And here, if you notice, like being that you're like hunching your shoulders up, see again if you can relax your shoulders down even more, holding your arms up. Focus back in on your beautiful breath. And then notice any sensations you might be feeling in your arms. Are they starting to feel really heavy? Are they tingling? Are you noticing any burning? At this point of your practice, when things get hard, breathe. Take a deep breath in. And breathe some more, because we've learned that your body is resilient and you can get through so much. So breathe again. One more deep breath. Now flip your palms up. You built so much strength. Inhale, bring your arms up to the sky. And then back down by your sides. Nice. Inhale your shoulders up gently. And then side and down. And let's do that one more time. Breathe your shoulders up. And then side and down. Even shake a little if you need to. Go ahead. And then we're going to breathe your arms back up. And then breathe your arms into goalpost arms. I sometimes say cactus arms, but I'm in a football house, so goalpost arms will work here. Good. Bring your breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your hands and your elbows towards each other. Inhale, open your palm. And then just activate your shoulders behind you. Good. And then exhale. Inhale, reach back as far as is comfortable for you. Exhale. Okay, we want to strengthen our postural muscles here that tend to get really rounded when we're working on the computer. So you want to strengthen your back, open up that space, building that strength. One more. Good. And then from here, you can keep your hands together, or if this feels comfortable to you, bring your right arm under your left arm and like wrap your arms up like they're a vine on a tree. Nice. Then you're going to inhale your hands and your gaze up. And then you're going to exhale and round your spine like cat pose. Curling it, nice. Inhale up. Good. Exhale, round your spine. There's breathing space between your vertebrae. You can go at your own rhythm. You don't have to copy my speed. Good, and then come back up. Untwist your arms, and we're gonna do the other side. So wrap your opposite arm under, or if you're here and that's too much, you can cross your arms here, okay? So on the other side, we'll do a few breaths just like that, looking up, reaching your arms up. And just notice how this feels in your body. Where are you feeling it the most? One more time up. And then curl in really nice. Good. Come back up to your center, unwind, shake out your shoulders. Really nice work. And then from here, we're gonna bring your arms up like you're holding a beach ball, and then twist to your side and place that ball down. You can use your knee, your outer knee here, as a little bit of stability. So pressing your hand into your knee, but never forcing your body anywhere it doesn't want to go. We're noticing and listening to the range that you need, what feels good to your body. When you're linking your movement, your awareness and your postures with your breath, you're doing yoga. So it doesn't have to look like mine. Breathe in, come up. You can do whatever posture sits well in your body. Other side. As long as you're bringing your kindness and curiosity, your mindfulness to your practice, and your awareness to your breathing, you're doing yoga. Which is why yoga is for everybody. And inhale, come back up. And exhale back into your cactus arms. What we're going to do here, you can tap your hand to your knee. We're going to bring your knee up. Work on your core here. So suck in a little bit so that you're feeling your core engaged. So we're not like here. That's not going to do so much for you. You really want to hold your body strong. So in your cactus arms or tapping your hand, you're going to reach your elbow to your knee or your hand to your knee. Okay. So breathe in and then breathe out. And try to do this slow. It's different. Notice how it feels when you go slow. Because when you rush through the pose, you can notice that that feels different. Breathe in and out. And one more time in. And out. Go ahead and up. And place your hands back down by your side. So now, if you're in a nice stable chair, we're going to do chair pose in the chair. It's really cool. So what you're going to do now is shift forward just a little bit. Press into your feet and press into your hands so that your chair is really just a suggestion. It's not holding you up. You're holding yourself up with your pressure of your feet in the ground and your hands into your chair. Feel your core working here. Maybe you feel your muscles start to engage. And if you really want to fire it up even more, you can lean forward and lift your arms up so that your bum is barely touching the chair. This is a really powerful practice to like ignite your whole body if you only have just a few minutes to sneak in a little exercise in your day. This is one of my favorite yoga poses. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, you're strong and resilient, so when it burns, take a deep breath and then sit back down. Beautiful work. So last couple poses to finish up. You're going to straighten your leg so that if you need to scooch forward a little bit, you can if you need to, and point your toe up to the sky. And then take a deep breath in and reach down towards your toe, stretching your hamstrings. Nice. Just bring your body to your breath. And coming back up and doing the other side. Nice. And if you can only go to your knee, like I've been working on my yoga practice, I have a bit of flexibility, like that's not for everyone. If you need to stretch to your knee and that's where you're feeling it in your hamstrings, stay there. Good, deep breath in and out. And come back to your seat in your center. So we like to end our yoga practice with something called Shavasana, final resting pose. And that can be challenging here on your chair, but something that I find really nice to do is if you're at a table, you could do child's pose, sitting with your elbows on the table and placing your hands on your forehead, or even just coming down to your knees and holding your head in your hands, holding that powerful mind-making machine that might just like be so much to handle sometimes, just letting all your thoughts dump into your hands. Just be right here, coming into yourself, into your body, and allowing some quiet from the busy. Noticing your breath, but releasing any control of your breath. Just being here in your chair, child's pose. You find yourself noticing your thoughts. You can choose to engage with your thoughts, or you can choose to let them pass by. Now, very slowly, you can start to sit up, back in your chair at your starting position. Next, you roll your shoulders back, take a big body stretch overhead, lean to the side, and in just a few minutes, just taking that bit of breath with your anchor, taking a second to prepare a meal that might be more nourishing to help your nervous system and your body and your tissues be prepared to seize the day, and moving so that you have the energy and vitality and the strength to get through anything. Those are just a few simple practices you can add to help you be resilient, to have your self-care, the inner and outer resources, so that you can do anything your heart desires. So I hope that we have left you with some nourishing, yummy, amazing little tidbits that you can take with you. And the way I end my yoga practices is that I hope that the light you have brought to yourself with the practice you have had today stays with you always and shines onto others. So namaste, all my yogis at home, wherever you are. And I think that will wrap us up for today. I do have a little tidbit that I'd like to share with you all, that our next Mitchell Alumni and Friends Seminar is Thursday, April 15th at 7 p.m. And it's called A Brand Called You, where you will learn how to skillfully define and communicate your personal brand. That sounds really cool. I'm looking forward to hopefully attending that one. And we would like to open up and invite anyone to any questions. If you have any questions, we're here for you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we did. We monitored. I didn't get a whole lot of questions, which means we must have done a good job because we must have answered everything as we were going.
Oh, we're that good.
So not bad. I did get a couple of thank yous out there, so thank you guys for joining us. Again, welcome to Mitchell and our speaker series. Again, look for us next, not us, but look for our next speaker series in a few weeks. I believe there's going to be a slide coming up of when that is. No, there is not. I wish there was, but again, go to our website and keep a lookout for our next webinar. And again, this will actually be up on a link maybe in a few days once they get it all set. So you can go back to any tips that you wanted from Megan or any cooking tips that you had from what we were doing there. Again, thank you very much and have a great night. And thank you for my daughter.
Yeah, thanks everybody.